Hello folks in 114 and 113. This video is for Monday the 24th and Tuesday the 25th specifically, since we're on remote instruction. Basically, if you're in MAT 114 or MAT 113, Mathematical Structures 2 and 1, you would be for these days, all right, Monday, Wednesday normally, and Tuesday, Thursday normally. Before I get to the syllabus, which is primarily what this is about, please write this down. Right? It actually is on the syllabus, but I don't want you to confuse what identifies our course material in MyLab with anything else that you see. So it is really imperative. Right? This is the only information that I can give you as to identify our specific class. So if you were in MAT 114, all right, this identifies the course material for MAT 114 in MyLab. Please write that. All right, 22/SP hyphen MAT hyphen 114 hyphen 01. All right, and for MAT 113, obviously, right, what identifies the course material in 113 in MyLab is 22/SP dash or hyphen MAT hyphen 113 hyphen 01. Okay, so you make sure that if you're in 113, you're identifying this, and if you're in 114, you're identifying this, right? Or that you have that information, I should say. Okay. Now, the whole point of this first video is just to cover the syllabus, the legalese, you know, if you will, and discuss how things will be graded. So let me turn on my projector here, and I'll walk you through some things. A lot of it I'm sure you probably are aware of, but humor me. Okay. And I may have to adjust my camera. Yeah, it's way too far away. Okay. Let's see. All right, let me get all these lights out of here. Put this up. And I'll go with the floor. It was the afternoon right now, so that's a bit blurry. Let me just show you what things should look like. And Canvas, since we're going to be dependent upon that for at least the next 2 weeks, if not longer. Definitely for your homework. Let's see. Does that show up enough? Looks like it's okay. Yeah. That's not quite right. There you go. I hate the way that adjusts. Okay, that's fine. All right, so here are the physical copies. Let me just flash this of the actual syllabuses, whichever the correct plural would be, for 114 and for 113 respectively. All right. As you can see, they're very similar because one is the prerequisite of the other. All right, and so the only thing that is really different about them is the material that gets covered. All right. The way that I've made these is that basically the two pages in the front and the back are the most practical. All right. There is other material in here that I would like you to look through. All right. Some of it is formality, but some of it is quite useful to you. Specifically, this page in the middle about extra services and what you should do in the event of contracting COVID. Okay. Since we're on remote instruction right now, most of your work is online anyhow, so I'm not too worried about that. But take a gander at that, please. And for practical use, read the first page and keep this calendar, because this is a map of the material for each class. So let me show you 114 first. All right. In Canvas, in our course tile, all right, if you were to go there, you will see I made the syllabus the front page here. Okay. What I'd like you to do is simply print this for your own use. All right. The information that I just had you copy for identifying the course material in MyLab, that is primarily where your homework comes from, is right there. All right. And these are basic instructions. All right. How you actually purchase the software license is usually a bone of contention. You can get it directly from Pearson, the publisher, through Canvas, or you might get it from the college bookstore. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. But if you get it from the bookstore, you have to wait for them to send you an email with a link. Okay, just please either follow the instructions, all right, from the bookstore, how to get your Canvas, your MyLab going, or just go through Canvas, all right, with a credit card or what have you. Anyhow, this is the relevant material information. Let me zoom in slightly. That's a little bit lower legible, all right. If you are in MAT 113, normally we would be in main hall, room 131. We are going to be remote at least until February 7th. And these are the days that we would be in person. All right, Monday, Wednesday, 2 to 3:20. Now, since I'm going to be giving you videos to serve as the communication of lessons, you don't have to meet at this time since we're not going to be there in person. All right, what I'm going to try to do is have the video prepared for you by the late afternoon on those respective days. All right, so if we have Monday, Wednesday together, probably no later than 5 o'clock, you'll have the link to the video, right? And you could watch it at your leisure, right? Here's some information about the weather, right? I don't have an office, I'm an adjunct, but if you wanted to make an appointment with me, we would have to meet in JLC room 230, okay? Now, what is imperative are these two pieces of material, right? Which is why I put highlights on these things. You need to get the MyLab software. Right, that is how you're going to do your homework, and if push comes to shove and we're on remote instruction until the end of the semester, that's how you will take your final. Right? If we are in fact in person by that point, then you'll have a paper ordinary final that's very similar. All right? A calculator that you should definitely get is this type. Right? It's the TI-30X2S. All right. Especially when you get into statistics, which is chapter 12 material for our purposes, or probability would have been 113, all right? You would definitely want this, okay? So this is inexpensive. It's anywhere from $10 to $20 maximum, right? Anybody that charges you more than that is ripping you off, all right? You can get it at the bookstore, you can get it elsewhere, whatever you like, all right? But do aim to get this type of calculator, the Texas Instrument 30X2S. Okay, it's worth its weight, right? This is the name of the book, A Survey of Mathematics, 10th edition. It looks like this. If you want, all right, a hard copy, as I'm inclined to have myself, all right, but if you purchase the software, which you're obligated to anyway, you get the ebook version of this, so you don't have to buy an actual physical textbook if you don't want to, all right? This is an option, all right? Right, in either class. Right. What's the difference between MAT 113 and 114? Well, I'll go back. Here is MAT 113. You're in student view, that's why. For MAT 113, as you'll see, I made it very similar. All right, here's the syllabus link on their page. So zoom in. We would have been in Edison, Hall 109, Tuesdays, Thursdays from 12 to 1:20. Again, since we're on remote instruction, you do not have to meet me online or in person at that time and place because we're not going to be there. All right. If we eventually get back to the campus, all right, you never know. Then yes, please come at those times. All right, but you'll be told. All right, ahead of time. All right. Assume for right now we're going to be remote. All right, so beware. Be online on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you're on MAT 113. Be online. Be aware for Mondays, Wednesdays for MAT 114. Okay, it's very similar. Here again is that same information I had you copy. All right, for the purposes of your MyLab. All right. Assuming that a person that's in 113 has no idea what's going on because they've never taken the prerequisite. The process is just, use Google Chrome, all right, to access Canvas, all right, and then click on our course, all right, and in MyLab and Mastering, all right, you can go through the process of purchasing the software, all right, to do your homework. All right, it's pretty nice software, I will say that for it. Again, what's the difference between MAT 113 and MAT 114? If you were in 113, the prerequisite, you would cover these chapters. All right. If you are in 114, all right, you would cover these chapters. All right, some of the same. Sorry for the glare. That's pretty, actually. All right. The requirements, all right, are the same. Here's the grading scale and what assignments are involved. All right. The core essence of this class, either one, is your homework, right? Which you will do online regardless. No matter what, you have homework online, all right? I've pasted and chopped it up so that, it's not all due at once, all right? But there are deadlines, all right? So you'll see it when you get the license and the assignments show up in Canvas, all right? They're, usually about a month apart is when they do, all right? The chunk of material, all right? The final exam is 25% of your grade. Any test that I give you, which if we're in person, I'll give you a paper copy, all right? If not, I'll just simply email it to you, all right? That's the other 25%. But as you can see, again, the importance comparatively of your homework to other requirements, all right? Your homework is the core essence of what you're doing, okay? So don't skip it. And don't try to do it all at once. Honestly, I know a lot of people, because of their work lives conflicting and what have you, all right, they'll try to do it all at the last second. You're not going to assimilate the material if you do that, so try to avoid it. Do it in small doses, okay? And this is the grade scale. All right, now, I added another page. This is from Pearson itself, all right? What to do about going about the process of getting your MyLab set up, all right? You can go through MyLab and Mastering, the tab that you see over here. I've tried for the sake of simplicity to eliminate any extra tabs here. If you click on MyLab and Mastering here, you can get straight away to the homework, right? And because I already have a MyLab myself, all right, it may not look exactly the same, but you click on the yellow button and it should walk you through the process of purchasing the software or at least getting the ball rolling. Okay, you want to do that as soon as possible. All right. Let me go back to here and I'll show you this again. If you do not do this through Canvas, you're still going to have to work in Canvas regardless. You might have gone through Barnes & Noble because that at least I haven't been on the campus for 2 years myself because of COVID, but Barnes & Noble's the store that is on the premises of the college, right? They're supposed to send you an email with a link once you purchase it from them, all right? Follow their instructions, which should be something similar to this, okay? Whether you pay with PayPal, Zelle, or I don't know, whatever is available. A credit card is usually the most lickety-split, okay? That's the second page. It's really a more verbose way of saying what you can do. You can get temporary access without payment for 14 days, all right, if need be. All right. now you can skip over this. All right, here are the expectations again for either class. All right, the semester ends on May 10th. All right, so in 113 you'll be on Tuesday. All right, your final. All right, in 114 your final will be the day earlier, Monday it should be. Yes. For you folks in MAT 114, your final exam is Monday, May 9th. Okay? But it's the same thing. I want to say there may be 33 assignments for one class and 32 for the other. Again, if push comes to shove and we're still remote by the point of the final, you can take the final probably in MyLab. We've done that historically. All right. Otherwise, if we're in person, there'll be a paper copy that is very similar. Okay. So don't stress about that. As a matter of fact, although I have in both classes scheduled a test that I made, all right, I'm gonna mail them to you. All right. I want you to focus on your homework because that's how you learn. All right. Make sure that you do your homework. Okay. There's no attendance policy, but at least if we're in person, I'll be monitoring that because it helps. What to do in the event of COVID, right? If you need to miss a class due to COVID, that is if we were in person and we're not right now. You're responsible for contacting the instructor, all right? That is if we were in person. We're not, all right? At any rate, when you want to communicate, please limit your communications to your Middlesex email because it may get blocked if you have a Gmail account or you use something else, okay? That's really the most professional thing. If you had a job and they give you an email account, they'd probably insist that you use whatever their email is, all right? Please make sure that you're responsible for completing any homework, whether you see me or not, all right, because you're ill, because we're going to be communicating via the internet, right? So if you're sick, obviously you have to rest, all right? But you have a good chunk of time to work on your homework assignments, which is primarily important. Anyhow, just communicate because it's helpful, all right? If you need to miss a lot, all right, if you're in the hospital and you can't communicate through there, this college would like you to contact the dean of your division. So if your major is liberal arts, contact this person. And if you are in business, STEM, or health professional services, contact this person, okay? You may be required to provide a doctor's note, all right? If you're on remote instruction and you're not feeling well, all right, again, we're not going to meet at a particular time and place on remote instruction. So, all right, you have a little more leeway, all right? Just don't let your homework get behind. It's very important, okay? All right, here's some extra services. If you're interested, the food pantry might be something you like to look into. All right. And this is a general list of the material that's going to be covered for 113 specifically. All right. If you're looking at the 114 syllabus, all right, it would be this information. These are the actual titles of the topics that are covered, all right? I've taken this information because in some instances you have a 29-day schedule, which would be the ideal, and then real life is that you have 28 days, so, and you're not on remote instruction. So what I did was I took that information and I put it on this at-a-glance style calendar, all right? So again, if we are in 113, you should in theory have access to this video, all right, on Tuesday, all right? It doesn't have to be at 12 noon. You could watch it when at your leisure, all right? Just please take a look at it, all right? The material that will be covered via video as well will be available by Thursday, all right, and so forth, all right? And we're Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday until the end of the semester, okay? Again, if we are in fact in person, all right, I will give you an actual test on that day, all right? It would be open notes, all right? And there's not a time limit. I mean, unless somebody throws us out of the classroom, I'll just go with you, you know, to another room and you can finish. All right, so don't worry about that. Again, the whole point of this class is to prep you for taking your praxis examination. How do you do that? You have to practice the material. So how do you practice the material? Doing your homework, all right? The test is really just to summarize. I made it myself, right? It's just to summarize what you should know basically by that point, okay? All right, focus on your homework, all right? Here again, just for argument's sake, is the 114 class. The same calendar, but for your respective days. Okay, Monday the 24th, as I mentioned, 114. This video will be available to you on Monday the 24th, all right? Just take a gander at it. It's probably not going to be any more than a half an hour long, all right? And you'll have, set off on the right foot. On Wednesday for our class, we'll be covering just section 4.1, all right? Again, via video, all right? So you don't have to meet at 2 o'clock, all right? Watch the video when you can, hopefully on Wednesday, all right? There's a little bit more freedom naturally with remote classes, all right? That's the way it's been for the past 2 years, all right? So might as well do that, all right? Again, for you guys, I had a test scheduled for well into the future, March 9th. Because we have more material to cover between now and then. If we are in person, all right, I'll give it to you, all right? It would be open notes, you use a calculator, there's no time limit, okay? Don't stress about the test. You want to do your homework because the experience is how you learn something, okay? We're just prepping you for practice exam, okay? So don't get stressed out, right? If you're not around and you haven't been paying attention for a while, please don't do that. And you want to know where things are or where we ought to be, all right? Just open up Canvas, right? And the very same calendar is on that front page as soon as you open it, right? So, you know, at some point in February, if you're lost, where should we be? Where should you be in terms of your homework? Well, by February, let's just say that's the 16th, I believe, it's hard to see. All right, we're going to be covering section 6.5. All right, so please be working on that in MyLab. Right. I tried to space it as one section as possible. In some cases, I had to double up, like over here, for measurement. 7.1, 7.2 will get covered. All right, that's because we have the recess in between. Okay, so slow and steady. All right, don't panic. All right, you have a good chunk of time before you have to complete assignments. I'm going to set the due dates, all right, later today. All right, and then when you purchase the license and everything gets published, all right, you'll see that you have some time. Right, but don't let it get ahead of you, okay? That's always what a problem is. People go like, I'll worry about it at the last second, and they have 12 things to do. All right, so it's not good, okay? So, where to look, all right? As you watch the videos, I have a lot of diagrams that I make and that I give out. If we're in person, I would give it to you, but I can't because we're on remote instruction. So what I'd like you to do, please, is click on pages. All right, well, first of all, look in announcements, because in announcements, on our day, there will be an announcement. You might have it rigged so it goes to your email, and if that's the case, so be it. All right. On the day of our class, there'll be a link to the video and a link to the material that you could look at if you want to print it. Okay? I try to summarize stuff. If you want to dig through the pages, these will all be available to you. Here's stuff for chapter 4, say, for example. All right. In chapter 4, as we discuss each section, I try to just color them all the same. It's a little subtle with this camera. It's not so great. But this is all red, all right? And you notice that 4.1 is part of this. So the handouts that I would have given you to discuss the material would be grouped together by color, all right? And here's some orange ones and some purple ones. And you can kind of get an inkling as to, all right, it's 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. Right? Do you have to print them? No. But if you find them useful, and I tried to design these things to talk to you, all right, please, by all means, take them. All right, they're PDF files. All right, they're all in color when you open them, but you know, for the sake of saving that sweet green, all right, on ink, all right, you might print in black and white. Okay. Other than that, there's not much else to say. All right. Let me turn this off. Spare the bulb here. And adjust the blinds here. Let there be light. All right. What you want to do for this in the near term is basically get your MyLab together. Okay. So again, if you're in 114, all right, essentially, all right, watch videos, all right, for the sections, for a section of material as we progress, all right, do the related homework in MyLab. All right, that's the name of the game. All right. All right. Same thing as well. All right, in 113, I really shouldn't have even bothered to separate it. All right, watch the videos on the day or as close to the day of. All right, and then try the homework in MyLab. All right, and you'll be fine. Okay. So, thank you guys for listening. Do print the syllabus, please, and do try to get a MyLab account ASAP, right? At least by the end of the week, okay? I put in the grade book in our Canvas course a little place to put a check mark to indicate that you have an account. It's not going to count against you, right, or even in your favor. It's just to monitor, okay, that you need to do that. All right, so get started as soon as you can, right? I'll see you guys on well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, respectively. All right, thank you for listening. Be careful out there.